Well, welcome back to Zujan Cha, our tasting today. And today we are going to be tasting some white peony here. And so the white peony, basically, it's white teas are known for having some health benefits and the like. And they're less oxidized than other teas, which is why they're white. And therefore, you have to let them steep for a little bit longer. We are going to be doing this tea Gung Fu style. I'm here heating up our different components here, our gaiwan. And so now I'm just going to heat up our cups here and give our teapot a little bit. All right. We'll let those steep in there a little bit and see if we're getting kind of a good flavor being brought out from that. Sometimes people like to do it this way. And once it steams in there, it starts to reconstitute, and then you get some nice smells, aromas from it. All right, I'm going to hand this off to my trusty assistant. Let's see what she thinks. What do you smell?
Kind of sweet. I think it might be floral.
A little floral? Okay.
Which is actually what I was guessing. I was guessing that this would be floral since the peony is a type of flower.
Okay, well.
I've been wanting to have a floral tea. I haven't had one before.
Let's give this a little bit of a rinse. And we'll see how it goes after the rinse. And we'll give the rinse to our teapot, whose name is Bob.
The ball spun.
And we'll see how this tastes here, or starts smelling in a second. Make sure, don't want, there we go, a little more. We don't want it steeping apart from everything. Kind of floral, nice fresh spring taste. That's what I'm kind of, smell is what I'm kind of getting from that.
Yeah.
All right, our cups are all nice and warmed up now.
Kind of smells kind of floral, kind of sweet. Yeah, it smells really floral. I agree. I smell like springtime maybe.
I wonder if he got stuck again.
Did you throw away the toothpick?
No, I have some here.
That'll work.
There we go.
There we go.
There's a tea leaf stuck in there somewhere. He needs to start brushing his teeth, I think. All right, so, all right, here we go for the first infusion then. Let's see how this ends up tasting. I'm trying to keep my kettle on constant temperature here. So you can kind of see some of the color change there towards the bottom.
I don't think I've had a floral tea before.
Well,
Maybe before, but I don't think I've had this type before.
Okay.
I'm interested to try it out.
I think that's long enough. And where's my
What are you looking for?
screen here? There we go. All right. Okie dokie. So, here's the color you're getting.
I think it looks a bit different on camera because it looks kind of like a honey gold. I think it looks a bit more brown on camera.
Oh, I guess people let me just go.
I'm not sure.
Bob will get his a little bit here. And
It smells floral.
there you go.
It still smells very floral.
Nice, I gotta have a nice fresh taste here.
Kind of grassy.
Yeah, a little grassy. Very light. Of course, it's the first infusion.
Also known as the mother-in-law cup.
Yes, the mother-in-law cup. So, just kind of initial tasting here. Mm. Mm. Thinking maybe some vegetal tasting there. All right.
I'm starting to get a sweeter taste the more I'm tasting it.
Yeah, the vegetal. I get like a fresh forest smell. Like kind of aroma I'm getting there.
The more I'm tasting it, I think the better it's getting for me.
I'm doing about 4 grams here, in case you're wondering.
It's a pretty long finish. Not that long, but it's like medium-ish. Medium long.
Well, yeah, so it's kind of getting some feeling some here along the edges of my mouth towards the sides of the tongue, you know. That my tongue on the side is like kind of happy. It's feeling something right in the very, very tip of my tongue too. Not feeling it quite so much in the rest of my mouth, but the sides of the tongue. You're getting some really nice feelings there.
I'm getting some taste in the center of my tongue.
The center, huh?
Like the center back, like right here.
Oh, right there, right back there. See, I'm not feeling anything towards the back of my head at all, but right at the very tip of the tongue, though.
I do have it at the tip too. Not getting as much as at the sides though.
All right, so here's the second infusion, wherein we should really start getting a lot of the flavor aroma out. Okay, so grab your cup. Here's one for you, and one for Bob, one for me.
Bob must always get a cup because he's Bob.
And we're in the second infusion, so we'll move Bob up a little bit. Here's what it looks like.
Still a nice honey gold. I think it's slightly dulled. Like a slightly less bright honey gold. Very grassy.
Yes, I got those grassy notes. I like straw.
If I do the sip thing where you like, then I get kind of a sweeter flavor.
Okay. Yeah, there's some sweet notes there.
It's kind of hard to tell though when you're just drinking the sips.
Kind of honey, maybe.
Yeah.
And I've got a little one here.
Yeah, I kind of get like a honey, grassy, slightly sweet when I sip it. But after the sip, it just goes back to grassy pretty quick.
A slight astringency there, but not very much.
Pretty light, Ethan.
Very light.
Pretty long.
Like a soft. It's kind of soft. In your mouth.
I think it's a medium to long, kind of like a medium-ish. It's in between clean and medium. Not medium. Clean and long, like right there in the medium of how it finishes, I feel like. Because it's doling away, but I can still taste it there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm still getting the feeling, lots of tingly feelings like on the edge, all along the edge of my tongue.
Yeah, I
It's
get that.
It's kind of interesting. I haven't had LNCs that really have affected my tongue this way before.
Yeah, mine's affecting it right here at the edge.
Right
And then,
there.
like, I feel like I'm getting like an airy feeling. Like this might just be because I just had hot tea, but like I'm getting like a feeling in the back of my mouth.
Move Bob up to the third station because we're getting ready to have our third infusion here.
Now Bob's looking at me.
Yes.
This makes me happy.
And just to note, I just do tea pets for fun. I don't believe that they're good luck or anything like that. Some people do, but it's just fun having something on the table there. And he's kind of cute. Alright, so for our third infusion here.
Look at the pot real quick, because originally it kind of looked like a rosy color from my angle due to the shadows. But then when you start pulling it, pouring it, it started looking more golden. I'm wondering if that balloon was Bob's cup. But I'll gladly trade cups with Bob. I think he might have given me Bob's cup.
No.
Not sure.
A little richer this third infusion. Definitely more mouth feel.
I'm definitely getting like kind of like a rush feeling at the very tip of my tongue. I don't know. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's kind of hard to describe.
So. Yeah. Well, I think I was having that before, and it's getting that way for you now.
It's just drawing out like a rush.
Still some sweetness. Honey. Still grassy, kind of like straw. And of course, straw can has a bit of a sweet flavor too as well.
Really?
Oh, particularly when it's wet and it's been fermenting out in the field.
Can I get a slight refill on this one too? Because I like this cup. But it's more sweetness and more honey than the last cup. It's more sweetness, more honey than grassy at this point, I think.
Yeah.
I think that cup number 3 tends to be the turning point.
Now, of course, I'm also getting like from a little, just a slight bit of astringency there, a little dryness here along the tip of my tongue and a little bit towards the front roof of my mouth, the palate there.
Yeah, it's pretty soft though still.
But it's not bad. No, if you don't like astringency, it's not that bad. It's pretty good.
Personally, I love cup number 3s because that tends to be the turning point in all the flavor. And it seems like certain flavors that I love tend to appear there in pretty much all teas that I've tasted with you. Even if I already like the tea, it's still like, it's a turning point. And I love that. It's cool though, how teas can like, first 2 cups.
So that was our third, so we'll move Bob over to our station number 4. You finished your cup there? Just a little bit.
Bob must have all of the tea in the world.
He gets all the leftovers and restovers and the like.
He's our adorable toad tea pet. Although he doesn't really look that much like a toad.
The Chinese toad.
They have claws there.
Probably. Well, regular toads have some claws too. Just not very efficient claws. All right, so it's still finishing. I think it's getting a much longer finish just after that third one. It's still kind of hanging around the mouth there. Still having it at this point in time. Sensations on the edge of the tongue, kind of neat. And still got those kind of maybe some floral notes, and the grass, that straw and the honey type of sweetness. So it's still there.
It's really interesting for me, like how flavors like grassy, vegetal, woody, burnt, earthy, and burnt spice. There's like all these teas that have like those flavors, but then on the third cup that starts to shift to like floral, creamy, fruity, sweet, mineral, and miscellaneous and nutty.
Okay,
It's interesting how the flavors just turn there.
Here you go.
Yes, that one is made perfectly.
Then we'll give Bob his. I get to have mine. And there you go. Fourth infusion. A little bit lighter, I think,
Sweet.
as far as the look.
I'm getting the sweet rush in like the tip of my tongue.
Yeah, it's this fourth one is definitely sweeter than the previous ones, I think. There's lots of flavor there. Getting a little more of the upper palate action going on.
I'm getting some flavors in the front and back of my mouth, I think.
Yeah, I think the lower palate, also underneath the tongue, is getting some activation here.
In the back of the tongue.
Very interesting. A little more.
I like this cup.
Okay.
I just love it.
I like this one, huh?
I can't wait to see how my big cup turns out.
There we go. All right, so those off. All right, going on to our fifth infusion. And so it's nice where you get at least 5 infusions.
We tend to go past that to see. How
Yes, we try to push it as far as possible. We have the water that we're steeping here. So we have 4 grams of white peony tea in there, and we're steeping it at about 190, 195. Because again, it's not oxidized. It needs a little bit more help to draw out the flavors that are there.
So I'm questioning, are those more shredded leaves or whole leaves or?
It seems to be a mixture. There are some larger pieces of leaf here, and there's a number of smaller ones, a few stems. But overall, though, I mean, I think it's fairly decent. Not too small, not too crushed. So I think we're not. I'm steeping it probably for a little shorter because there are a lot more crushed leaves here, which means that it will infuse much quicker. All right, so. Our dog Freddie we hear in the background doing his thing.
He's making what I think that he's trying to make the carpet feel softer.
Which one of these was yours? Doesn't matter.
I think it was that one. Because that one doesn't.
Bob's not putting his lips to any of these, so it doesn't really matter too much. Here you go, Bob.
I think that's because this
This is
one
our
has a
5th
small
infusion,
spot.
and it's definitely much lighter. I don't know how many more infusions we're going to get.
Yeah, I think this one is Bob's because it has those 2 spots. Mine has 1 spot, small, itty bitty one.
Okay. Oh, that went
Sweet.
wrong.
Really
That's
sweet. Sweet rush in the tip.
Excuse me. I'm going down the wrong pipe. I'll get a little more here.
Mainly the flavor's mainly at the tip, but then it has a bit of the back, just back of the neck, not neck, back of the mouth. Sorry.
Yeah, this one not getting quite the same action sensations on the tongue on this one.
Not as grassy, not really grassy anymore.
Yeah, get it kind of. Well, mine's still grassy. I still taste it.
Just slightly. The sweetness is mainly starting to overpower the grassiness now.
A couple more. More for you. A little more for Bob. More for me.
A little more for my big cup.
All right.
It's definitely a honey flavor. When I did the sip thingy, it really tasted like honey.
All right, we're going to shoot for a 6th infusion.
How many infusions are you technically supposed to do with this type?
Well, I mean, it says that there are, some have recommended about 5, maybe 4. But, we're just going to push it and see how far this particular one goes. See how many infusions we can get out of it. And we'd like to know. It's experimenting, right? Oh, everybody gets to see Bob's face now. There we go. Here's Bob. Of course, there are all kinds of different infusions, but I like the toad because I just like toads, finding toads in the garden growing up. And from plants around, there's a toad. Oh, wow, look at that. I haven't seen too many toads around here, though. I did see a frog the other day.
I saw a toad. It was mainly early spring, though, when I saw toads.
Yeah.
And it was under the wood thing in front.
All right.
That's where most half of the wildlife seems to like to live. Half of it likes to be in your garden eating it, that are just living there, and half of it likes to live under the logs.
All right, so I think this is probably gonna be the last one fusion, I think, because the color is starting to give up here. But just because the color is dissipating doesn't mean the flavor is.
So maybe we might be able to push for 7th.
Might be able to. Let's see how this
That's not
tastes.
mine. That's Bob's.
That's Bob's.
That was mine.
Okay.
You can tell Bob's reminder to the splotches on Bob's.
No,
Bob's has splotches, mine doesn't.
I will have to clean that better.
Ooh, it's really sweet. Yeah, it's really sweet.
Yeah, it's sweeter.
I'm really getting a rush sensation from like all corners of my mouth coming to the tip.
Really?
That's kind of like most of my mouth, like right from like the middle of my mouth going to the tip on the sides. It feels like there's a rush heading to the tip.
That was me towards the beginning, not so much now. There's always why it's nice to have a couple of different people tasting, because everybody tastes differently.
If you keep it in your mouth without swallowing for a minute, then you might be able to taste the rush going in. Do you taste it kind of? Like the rush going to the tip?
No, that's just not doing that for me now. Earlier it was, you know, but
It's so
still
good.
kind of grassy. Definitely towards the sweeter. Definitely much lighter now. Of course, this is the 6th infusion, so yeah, I think that's going to be it. So anyway, if you like this, if you want to see more, please like the video, click the like thing, or go down there and press subscribe so you'll always know when we're getting a new review here. I know we're expecting at least 4 or 5 new reviews coming up in the next week or so. So until then, blessings on the rest of your day, and hope to see you again here soon and enjoying some of this tea.